Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I'm your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain Jay. With me, my co-host in the Black Council is the numbest of skulls, Mr. Numbskull himself, right there. And as you can see, there is a third box with us tonight. A third box. It is Efilly, the one and the only Efilly streamer extraordinaire, and we are really happy to have her on tonight. We've been trying to get some more interviews with other streamers, showcase some other people that we are good friends with in the streamosphere of Magic the Gathering. And tonight, we're more than happy to have Efilly on with us. Yeah, we're going to be going over some stuff, talking about streaming, talking about Magic, and all the rest of it, as you know, as you've been accustomed to hearing here on the Black Council. It is episode 35, if you can believe it or not. As we were talking about previously.
One of my favorite numbers.
35 is your favorite number?
Well, one of them, yeah.
One of them.
Like top three. 35.
Top three favorite numbers. Fantastic. Yeah, we've been going at it for a while, Num. I think we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary. In maybe 2 months, we'll have to do something big for our 1 year stream anniversary here. Maybe we'll do a live recording. But as always, we'd like to say a thank you to our patrons who are supporting us. Those are our top tier patrons. They are the ones keeping the podcast alive. They're the ones who keep us in good pre-release money. And of course, renting out the studio that we're using right now, which
$6 million studio.
$6 million a month it costs us to rent this. I made a very bad deal. I shouldn't have paid a year ahead of time. That was another mistake that I should not have done that. But hey, you know, the patrons are helping out with that. Numbskull, you want to read them off for us today?
I have to. Let me see if I can log into, because I'm on this other computer.
Let me get on. Okay, he's on. He's on his third computer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
My bad,
his third computer, and he's not logged into anything. I will read the patrons off.
Wait, I think it might work.
It might work. Oh, okay, we got some new ones. We just got some more people joined up.
Oh, I have to do two-factor authentication. I'll let you do it.
I'll do it. All right. So as far as our active guys who are currently supporting us right now, for as little as $1 a month, that's how little it costs. $1 a month is all it takes to get in and become a patron here at the Black Council, become a council member, get access to our exclusive Discord. You get input on what we're going to be building, what lore videos you want to see, what guests you want to have on. Efilly was actually fairly requested occasionally. That was a name that came up a lot. So a lot of our viewers overlap. So
we share a lot of the same community.
Yeah.
Numbskull raids me, I raid Efilly, I raid Numbskull. You know, it all kind of goes around. So we had a few requests for that. But either way, I want to give a shout out to our patrons, which is Notorious D, Deadfast, Frank E, Mother of Steel, Weiler T, Szechuan Anan. Is back in the saddle. The Clash, Lars Van Breem, Xylo, Jamel Zilla, Trex, Lord Gypticus, the Flipticus, Mamulian, Cassius, Nickelnuts, H-Man, Ulvir, Dante, the Funny Valentine, Cleverest of Sounds, Bloodchief, and of course, Paradabo, not just one, but a whole pair of them. Thank you so much for all of the patrons supporting us here at the Black Council. And we're happy to keep making content for you guys. I really enjoy it. I really like that we get a little bit more insight into Magic behind the scenes stuff. I was basically tired of making just deck videos and wanted to do something else. So it's good to get a little different perspective. Yeah, and I know Numbskull occasionally wants a break from defending his number one spot on the Mythic ladder. Where are you currently at, Reggie? What are you, number 5 on the Mythic rank right now?
Dude, I'm
Efilly, who's number 4, I think, last time I checked.
I don't even have a number right now, man. I'm like 95%.
Oh my, okay. You don't even have a number right now. Okay.
I'm very lazy this month.
Okay. I thought you were like a professional Magic player and not like.
Me too.
Oh my goodness.
Me too. And then I started playing in June, and it just all went out the window.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'm Diamond 2, so don't feel bad. At least I'm not in Platinum this time. I'm stuck in Plat Hell. Efilly, where are you currently on the ranking?
I'm like Mythic 98% or something.
My God. Oh, 90, I thought you were saying you were 98 ranked. I was
No.
98.
We hit like 12 like number 1290 the other day.
When I saw you, when I was watching your stream last night, I thought you were in numbers. You were in like 1200.
Yeah, but it's like 1 win, 1 loss will put you back in the percents.
You know,
yeah, that's true.
That's why I barely ever struggle with number, because I'll be 98% and I'll win like 6 games in a row and I'll be like, yeah, you're 99 now. Then I'll lose. I'll be like, yeah, I think 91% is good for you, or 89%.
Yeah,
that's probably good. You fucking loser.
It's
gambling.
It kicks me back. So, welcome. So let's get into it here. Now that we all know everyone's worth based on how good they are at Magic.
Yep.
Obviously, with me at the bottom here, it's still in Diamond. Welcome, Efilly. Like I said, we're happy to have you here. How are you feeling tonight? What's been going on? How have the streams been? And what's going on? What have you been doing lately? What have you been playing?
Great. I'm excited to be on the podcast. I love talking and hanging with the homies. I don't know. I feel like as a mainly standard player, Magic is in like a weird spot for me right now when I play. Mm-hmm. Like when I boot up Arena and start playing. I think I want to start playing more Lord of the Rings stuff. Jay, do you mainly play Historic or do you play?
So, yeah, that I mostly play Historic.
Anyways, even without the new set.
Standard and Alchemy.
Oh, okay.
Which is why me and Numbskull kind of want to start this, because there's not a lot. I feel like we're kind of in a minority of Standard and Alchemy players. But I'm mostly a Standard best of 1 player. And I do play Alchemy. I rarely ever play best of 3. Every now and again, I'll do a Historic or a Brawl. Once in a blue moon, I'll play a best of 3. But I don't know. I'm mostly just Standard best of 1. So I am on that Standard grind or Alchemy grind. I'm very familiar with that.
Well, Alchemy got shaken up a little bit with the new set. So that's like kind of something.
Have you gotten into it? Have you gotten into Lord of the Rings?
I'm like low-key kind of obsessed with this set. I have like a passionate connection, I feel like, right now, because I did my first paper pre-release of Lord of the Rings. This was my first early access, was this set.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, my first time ever doing early access on Arena was this set. I did my first ever like, let's look at all the cards on stream and talk about them, like a 7-hour
preview.
Yeah, I did. That's just like my first set where I've actually like done all that stuff for it. So I actually kind of feel like emotionally invested in this set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first like dive in.
Did you say the other day that you were watching the Lord of the Rings movies now too?
Yeah, I'm trying to watch them. I'm trying to watch it. Everyone told me to watch the extended versions. So it's taking me a long time.
Yeah.
They're like 4 hours each.
It's about, I think it's almost like 10 hours or 11 hours to watch all the extended versions together.
Yeah, I have not. And my attention span is so non-existent. It's so hard for me to sit there and watch them. But I want to. I want to be a super fan.
Yeah, I need to watch them again, because I think like when they came out, I was like 12.
Yeah,
like
that's the last time I saw them. I was like in theaters with my dad.
Yeah,
I remember going.
Yeah, and it's been a while, and like I kind of remember stuff, but like a refresher as an adult would probably be helpful. So definitely a good time to watch it. The Lord of the Rings set is cool. Seems like everybody's really into the limited. I know Efilly's been killing it with the pre-releases.
Yeah, I haven't played much on Arena. I just don't feel like I have the audience that would watch me do limited. But I kind of think I'm gonna just do it anyway, because I also feel like standard is stale a little bit right now. So why not play the new hotness?
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel so weird about what to play lately.
Yeah, I think
in that aspect.
I think doing the limited for it is good too if you're not planning on like buying a lot of Lord of the Rings packs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really care about building my collection.
Yeah, I haven't bought any yet, so it's just like this is a good way for me to get some of the cards, so I don't like burn as many wild cards if I do make a deck out of Lord of the Rings cards or whatever, you know? So I've been doing a little bit of limited, but I totally agree with you. My numbers, like viewers, tend to drop as soon as I stop playing Constructed. It's like...
Yeah, I'll say that with content creation, like audiences can be real fickle like that. Like I released a draft video today, and it was my worst performing video in like 10 or 12 videos, just because I normally play constructed, and so when they see draft in the title, they're like, oh.
Because people don't
catch you tomorrow, Jay.
They don't even play. Like I feel like they don't even.
Well,
even care about it. So I don't know.
And it's tough because you spent X amount of time building up your audience and your community for coming to see you do a certain thing, and they were there to watch you because they like constructed. Maybe that's why they followed you in the first place. And then when you go to do draft, it's like, well, I never would have followed this person if they were a draft champ. So it's like it's tough. You know what I mean? But it's also like you want to have a little bit of variety, and then maybe you get other followers if you do a couple drafts. You have other people who come to watch you, because I definitely have like sometimes if I am drafting like all night, I'll have different people who come in.
I like that too.
You know, I'll get different followers, or like I'll legit have like random people who come in and like tell me how to draft, and I'm like, thanks. I'm like, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
It's not my forte. I do it because it gives you the cards, but it's certainly not anything that I would consider myself a professional drafter at all. Yeah. So I'm always kind of shooting from the hip with it.
And I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't feel like as a newer player, it doesn't challenge me to play 6 hours of standard a day, the same deck or 2 different decks. Like I feel like it makes me a better player to play things I'm unfamiliar with and like learn mechanics more, like challenge my mind a little bit more, like think about my opponent's plays more. Like if you just boot up standard all day or something, you're just playing the same couple decks. You know what you're expecting. Like you're not. I don't know. It's not as challenging as a newer player. Like I feel like it's making me a better player to play other formats more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And that's kind of part of it. You kind of notice different. I know that probably the most useful thing that I get out of playing draft is there's cards that I'll see that I'll play. And I'm like, man, that card is actually very good, and I never really considered it before until I saw it performing in draft.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bonus of just being able to see, oh wow, I never considered that. Cool. So I always like to do that. So you say you play standard. Do you play Alchemy? That's the big question.
I like Alchemy. I'm not a hater. I like Alchemy. I would rather play Alchemy than Historic just because I am newer. So the older cards. The only reason is just I'm unfamiliar with the older cards.
Okay.
Like, I would still probably play... To me, like, I started playing Magic on Arena, so cards being only on Arena doesn't completely affect how I play the game. Yeah. It's an online game to me. So it being digital cards is just part of it for me. So yeah, I like Alchemy. I like the black cards in Alchemy. I think they're really good and strong. That's why absolutely. I tend to follow the archetypes I like.
The master of Black Alchemy here is Numbskull, as you may or may not know. So he's smiling, beaming with happiness that you think it's good. You mentioned that you started on Arena. What year did you actually start playing when you first laid down like your first mana?
I downloaded Arena on January 7th of last year. So like a year and a half I've been playing. Wow.
So in terms of Magic cards, fairly new.
Yeah. I've been in the scheme of the 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. That's because I started in 1994. And I think one day I'll get good at it. So that's what I'm hoping. Maybe in another 30 years. But that's fantastic to be able to be hit Mythic that quickly and to have built an audience so much around Magic that fast. That's amazing. That's really an accomplishment.
You have a lot of audience that enjoys newer players. They like to help the newer players.
Yeah, there is an audience that likes it, especially if they're new players themselves. I feel like they feel less.
They learn a lot, too.
Yeah, I think that it's part of it. You don't want to like watch a pro who's making 1,000 IQ moves when you're like brand new because you're like, wait, what is he talking about?
I consume so much Magic content, and I try to watch pros play too, and I'm like, I wouldn't have seen that line. Even after seeing them play it, I won't see that line. I still don't know what the card even does. Like, I can't see it.
I'll be honest, like, I'm not a Spike. I'm not a pro player, and I don't really watch it. Like, I'll even watch pro players when they go live occasionally, or watch the Grand Prix, and they'll be using terminology from Magic I'm not even familiar with.
Oh yeah.
For someone that I've been playing this game, like I said, for like 29 years, a year after it came out, and I'm like, what is he talking about? What? Oh, he's gonna check cycle that double tap, and I'm like, what is this guy? I'm like, all right, this is way too technical for me. I play to have fun. So yeah, that's good. And you said you were playing Yu-Gi-Oh before. How long had you been playing Yu-Gi-Oh previously?
I was like the casual, like when I was 12 years old, bought some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, played them probably incorrectly with the homies. I had all the games like on my Game Boy, like Yu-Gi-Oh. I still have my PlayStation 2 hooked up with my Yu-Gi-Oh games. And I started streaming Yu-Gi-Oh on I had a Switch game, Yu-Gi-Oh game that I just started streaming. And I was doing that for a while, and then Master Duels came out, which was like the big arena type.
I remember that, yeah.
Big. I feel like it came out on January 6th, and then I downloaded Arena on January 7th.
The next day.
I don't know if it's it was almost the next day. I streamed Master Duels for maybe like a week, 2 weeks, and I was like, I hate this. I was playing so casually when I was playing like the Game Boy games, and like there was like an online client too where I was like, which is actually pretty cool. It's like an MTGO, but Yu-Gi-Oh, but everything's free. All the cards are free.
Okay.
You can build any deck, and it looks like the MTGO like format where it's like kind of like Windows 94
Okay.
But you can play everything for free, so I was streaming that for a little bit too, and that was fun. But
that's legit.
Master Duels is like arena where it's like ladder, competitive.
Okay.
I was like, I can't handle. I'm too
Master
casual.
Duels is so sweaty, like the turn one wins and all that.
And I tried to play a turn one. I can't pilot it. I forget what needs to go in. I'm like, I'll mess up the combo on my own.
The sequencing is like, it just seems really crazy.
It is.
And then you don't want to like mess up when you're streaming it, and then like you also like don't want to just lose every game, which could happen too because people are going off on you. So it's like it just seems like a hard game to stream.
I've been aware of Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time. I'm aware of all the memes.
Yep.
I mean, I have a Heart of the Cards emoji on my channel. Like that's one of the emote is a little magic card with a heart in it.
Aww.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I know nothing about how it is played, how it functions. I'm completely clueless.
That's wild.
And I've tried a couple times. I've tried to learn the Pokemon game. I've tried to learn.
Pokemon too.
Yeah, Pokemon seems fun.
I've tried a bunch of stuff, and for some reason, Magic is just the only thing that
I do like Magic a lot.
Sticks in my head as something that I'm actually capable of doing.
I don't know. Like, I played Pokemon like back in the day too, probably not completely correctly, like tournament rules and stuff. So like I do feel like Magic is just the more like, I don't know, like maybe mentally like enthralling, like you actually are caring about. I don't know. Like, there's so many different parts to put on the board other than, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, you need two creatures at the same time to make one big creature or something like that. Like, I don't know. It just seems... Yeah. Magic seems like it has more fun parts to it.
Exodia, the forbidden one.
I have an Exodia.
You have an Exodia?
I do. I have
you have a paper collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! Then?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. I have a baby Magic. I'm not a collection, but I have a lot of bulk so far. I feel like in my Magic collection.
She has a Shouldred though.
I do have one Shouldred.
She let me borrow her Shouldred at MagicCon that I used to whoop some ass.
I was lucky, and you won.
Cool. Yeah. So she has a lucky Shouldred.
I do.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is it a Phyrexian? Is it a Phyrexian
it's like
type?
the most basic.
No, she has the regular.
Yeah, it's like the most basic one you could open.
But she packed it too. That was the craziest part. I
threw it in my commander deck. My cards I own.
I bought like how many boxes of Dominaria and didn't get one. Efilly opens like that was like your pre-release, right?
No, I bought a whole box of draft. And I did a draft with my friends, so I still had like 30 extra packs, and I opened them all. I was looking for a shoulder. I was like, I'm just going to open them all. Okay. No, none of them. And then I bought a gift bundle. I bought the gift bundle.
Okay.
Because the box has a Liliana on it, so I wanted the box with the Liliana on it of that gift bundle. And it was my second to last pack too. I was like, hell yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's clutch. And at the time, we had no idea that it would be so valuable. You know what I mean? It's kind of like packing a Fable or like a Meat Hook back in the day. RIP. But
pour one out for Meathook. All right.
I have a Meathook, but it would be so good in my commander deck.
I have the worst luck with pulls, and Snow, my girlfriend, who occasionally would stream every now and again, she pulled a Vorinclex, the Vorinclex from Kaldheim. She pulled one of those, and then she sold it. I mean, it was going for like $60. She sold it, and then opened more packs like the next day, bought more packs with the money, and pulled a Phyrexian Vorinclex the next day.
Oh my god. Is that one worth more?
Yeah,
probably, right?
It was like $100. It was even more.
Nice.
I just could not believe her luck.
Did you guys sell that one too?
She sold that one too, and I don't even know, bought hamburgers with it or something. I don't even know.
More packs. That's another thing. Like, if I were to get something valuable, I kind of like don't know if I'd sell it. I like to have it.
Yeah.
Because all my other cards kind of suck. Like, all my other cards are like the bad pulls. It's like I kind of want something to show for it.
Yeah, you go in. What I've been doing when I get good cards is if I do crack packs, if they're valuable, I'll go in. I'll go to the LGS and they give you more towards it or towards your value if you put it like you buy other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been buying singles for my or not singles, but like cards for the Pioneer deck. So the Pioneer decks are expensive, so that's kind of like your something to show for it, if you will. You know what I mean? That's what I've been doing. It's like converting the expensive pulls that I'll never use and getting my Pioneer cards here and there. So like, you know, I went and bought a couple Thought Seasons because it was like 20 a piece. You know,
are they 20 a piece? The Thought Seasons?
Yeah, they're so expensive.
Thought Seasons that expensive? Oh my goodness!
Yes,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I think I got the cheapest because there's been a bunch of reprints, but not recently.
Yeah.
The cheapest reprint they have is like a $17 one at my LGS, but some of them go for 80 and up, depending which one you get. Because they have Secret Lair Thought Seasons.
I want that Secret Lair Thought Season. So the Junji Ito one, I want that one so bad.
So they have some that are, they have some that are really up there. So then I think, what was it? Not Tomb of Erdborg. Is it Tomb of Erdborg? It's the one that makes all the lands swamps.
The black commander lands are so expensive.
Yeah.
My commander's mono black, and the land base is very weak because those lands are so expensive.
Commander's tough because they know that people who really get into Commander will pay whatever for cards. Mm-hmm. And they will just take your wallet. They'll take the whole thing.
What are you building in Pioneer? What deck are you building in Pioneer?
Rakdos midrange.
That's what I think I would play too, though.
Yeah, that's the only one. Like, because mono black isn't like amazing.
Existent competitively.
Yeah, like some people play it, but like the Rakdos midrange still rolls over it because it has like ramp, and then you get Fable, and you get the Bloodtithe Harvester, which is just like a really good play.
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher is great because it like kind of gets around Thoughtseize and like Hand Hate by, you know, being exiled with the adventure portion, so that's cool. And then people were playing Chandra, but now you just put your Sholdred in it, so it's cool that I had a couple Sholdreds. Yeah. Those just go right into the Rakdos now. So you play that, and some builds play Invoke, but a lot of them don't really do anything in like the 5 slot. They kind of stop at 4.
Are they playing the new Chandra?
The ones that play Invoke are, yes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because
they copy it.
Yeah, but they played the older Chandra, the 4-drop Chandra before, because she could do up to 4 damage to a target. That was like her -3. But because she didn't kill Sholdred, they had to take her out. Because people were just playing in the mirror, they would just board in Sholdred and she couldn't kill it. So it was just like a bad trade. So
the new one kills Sholdred, but it's like a 6 mana kill Sholdred.
Yeah, so once again a bad trade.
Yeah.
So you're only looking at having it be valuable to play the new Chandra if you're also, you know, doing having Invoke with it. So I've seen some people play it in Pioneer like that. I don't know if I've seen people do it I've seen people do it in Explorer, the Chandra and Invoke. Basically like a Pioneer version of the one that was in Standard, and then I don't know if people do it in Pioneer or not. I have to.
I'm wondering like what in Pioneer, aside from just ramp, what in Pioneer would make it better? Like what in Pioneer?
I think ramp and Yeah, it's kind of tough. It may like beat the mirror because of the invoke and the card advantage, but yeah, outside of that, it is kind of tough. And a lot of the Rakdos mid-range decks sometimes are even listed as Rakdos aggro because a lot of them stop at 4 mana, so they're almost considered aggro decks.
4 mana? No way. That doesn't seem like
a lot of them will stop at Sholdred. The only time where sometimes they'll board in 5 mana spells for like board wipes, like Shadow's Verdict, I think, is in some of the decks. And then what was the other one? Shadow's Verdict is what's the other one? Extinction Event. I think that's 4 mana still though. Extinction Event is. So I think some of the board. I think some of them play Burn Down the House too. So like some of them will have like 5 mana spells in the sideboard, but for the most part they're stopping at 4 mana.
I didn't know
they
that.
hope to kind of have dealt with you by then. So,
I mean, I feel like it's, I don't know, maybe it's just the cards that they're printing, and maybe you guys can weigh in on that. I feel like the game is drifting towards just stop the other person. I mean, it's like first past post. Stop the other person from playing their bomb while you try to play your bomb as fast as possible. I feel like the game has pulled in that direction so hard, like almost in every format. There's not really a ground game. There's just
stopping other person's game.
Just stop the other person and try to out bomb the other person with a mega card before they can you. And it's I don't know, I find that to be kind of a boring meta because it's either you play super hyper aggro to get under the bar as quick as possible, or you play total control and just lock the other person out. There's not really, you've kind of bent in two directions really, really hard, and it doesn't leave room for mid-range combo decks, any kind of jank, any kind of, any kind of really interesting builds. It's just like, oh, well, who can hit Breach the Metaverse as quick as possible? Who can hit Atraxa as quick as possible? Who can hit a Tali 50 times in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of killed off mid-range with their recent bans. So it's,
they should have banned. I think if they banned like maybe like 10 cards, we'd have a whole new standard pretty much. It wouldn't be decks that were already kind of doing well, just living without one card or replacing one card.
One of the best, if you ever do the midweek magics, I don't know, one of the best midweek magic they had was Standard Shakeup, when they did Standard Shakeup, and they would they would say you can build any deck, but the top 8 cards, you can't have them. Get in and just play. It was a standard deck, but like all the bombs, all the.
They did that recently? Have they done that recently?
Yeah, they did that like a year ago. They used to do it at least maybe
they knew what the top cards were?
Yeah, they have stats on what the cards are, like what cards are.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Arena is a giant data aggregator of what cards people are playing and not.
That's one of the reasons that Meathook got banned, is because it was in over 50% of decks, and and I think Fable was over 60, and that was like, once it gets to that level, that's when it's like considered banned.
It gets saturation, and I mean it's going to happen to colorless more, which is why you'll see Ugin and like Bankbuster banned, because they'll fit in any deck no matter the color. But they used to do that. They used to do On the Edge, and it was so much fun because you could run into anything in there. You just had no idea what was going to happen. And I feel like
anything could flourish.
Anything. You could run into mid-range zombies. You could run into weird tribal combos that nobody thought of. These long jank decks or really interesting combo plays, because they weren't worried about getting, outgunned on turn 4 because somebody spammed 2 copies of Breach into an Atali, into a Breach. Which is, there's not much you can do after that. Once they hit Atraxa twice, it's like, all right, well, I either have board wipes or whatever. So that's, I mean, I feel like that has always been a really good. I like anything that limits the power, because you really get to see playing, as opposed to the cards doing all the heavy lifting. The cards aren't going to carry you. That's why I like Pauper. That's why I like Artisan, which is, one is common and one is uncommon and common. Like, you're never going to find a power card that's just going to carry you through the whole game.
I've heard that competitive Pauper has like quite the little scene. Like, aren't there like crazy meta Pauper decks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot.
There are people who take it very seriously, and they know of these cards that I've just like never heard anybody else say before. Every time somebody talks about it, I hear about this crazy card from the 90s that nobody's ever heard of. And like,
they dig deep. Even crazier than Pauper is Penny Dreadful, which is
I've heard of that too.
You can only play cards that are worth 1 or 2 cents.
Yeah, I have heard of that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Penny Dreadful, yeah. So you have people really pulling out the stops with these absolute draft chaff fodder that nobody ever played.
Literally.
But yeah, people were even getting like really complicated infinite loops in Pauper too. Like there was some broken stuff in there.
And Pauper's kind of bigger on MTGO, from what I understand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, and it's like a really good place to get into it because the cards would be pretty cheap to do
there. Yeah.
I've actually heard of there's this tech where you start with a Pauper deck with like $20 or whatever, and then you win leagues with it, and then you get boxes, and then you just can like build a Pioneer deck.
Oh yeah.
You just like snowball shit.
Makes sense.
Into like a full collection, and there are people who've started with that $20 investment in a Pauper deck, because I know the coolest thing about MTGO is once you get a full 4 of everything in the set, they will give you the cards. They will mail you the cards. From what I've been told.
I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah, so you can when you complete a set, you will receive all of the cards from Wizards. From what I understand.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. Someone told me that. I don't know if that's true. That's something I heard.
On Moto?
He claimed it was true. He claimed it happened to him. I don't know if they still do it or if they stopped doing it. Someone who's watching, if you're an MTGO expert, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I have been told about it. And anything I hear about MTGO, I just take it with face value because I've never been on them.
I played MTGO like when it first came out. And when did it come out? In the 60s, I think? In the 50s, sometime around then.
It was that 56K era.
Yeah. I was just thinking about something really super old. What was I just thinking about? An ancient Magic thing that isn't around. Oh, I completely lost it. My brain is...
It'll come back to you in the middle of the night.
It'll come back to me. I'll burst out of my bed. No, that was it.
Fire up the pod.
I gotta add an addendum. It's interesting, and that's why I'm focusing on Alchemy right now, because I don't know about the rest of you, but I've been really bored of Standard. It's been just very boring.
Yeah, it was
it's kind of the same thing. And the thing is, my biggest problem is not even the variety of builds that I can make, because I can usually come up with something clever, but I can know from the first mana the guy lays down in the first card he plays what's coming out of the gate next. So, he's playing Grixis. He's playing the mono blue lockout.
The Bant land.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember on Jay's stream the other night, someone played Plaza of Heroes and was like, we were like, oh, fucking Esper again.
But Esper fucking Legends. Esper Legends right away.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do you guys think that the new Lord of the Rings cards have effectively shaken up Alchemy?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how much you guys have played, but Nazgul is ridiculous.
Yeah?
Yeah, Nazgul's crazy. Nazgul is really going up.
Nazgul gets, unless you have board wipes or just a shitload of removal, Nazgul absolutely gets out of hand. Yeah. Like, there's nothing if you get 3 or 4 of them on the board by that time, if you're playing like other ring temps they're all like 11, 12 death touchers, like, because
they all proc and like they all give each other counters. And
that's cool. That sounds fun.
It goes crazy, especially in draft. If you can get like 2 or 3 of them in your draft deck, it feels like it's pretty hard to beat you, as long as you're doing like tempting, or you have like a Smeagol with it or whatever.
Schmeagol.
But yeah, I personally, and I don't know if it's because I haven't found a card that's stuck out to me for it that much yet, but I actually have not changed my deck since Lord of the Rings came out. My Alchemy mono black, at least.
Your standard, your Numbskull standard, your old
the
reliable
Numbskull special.
The Numbskull special.
Wow. I have not put any Lord of the Rings cards. I don't know. I realized the other day that I like that new Sauron, that 5-drop, the all black one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Necromancer. Yeah, that's very powerful.
I like that, but I still don't think that I like it better than Invoke Despair. That's my only issue.
For your 5 spot.
Yeah, I would like it if I was playing like an Atraxa deck or like an Atali deck, but I'm playing Alchemy to not do that. So it feels like I'm in a weird place with it because I'm like, you want to like use that card because it brings makes a copy of something in the graveyard that's a 3/3. So you want to have the craziest ETB shit, but like I don't know if I want to.
In black, what?
Yeah, exactly. Then I have to add another color, and then now I'm not doing mono black anymore. So I don't like that better than Invoke. So I leave that as it is. And then I don't know of any other black cards from Lord of the Rings that
you haven't even added Mirkwood Bats because that'll trigger any token.
Yeah, Mirkwood Bats is a thing, but my only issue with that is that I only really make blood tokens. It's better in Rakdos for sure. I only really use the blood tokens, and then.
Do you make any treasure?
I have 2 Deadly Disputes in the deck, so and 2 Shambling Gas. So I don't do it as much as I used to. I'll say that. I used to heavily rely on that 1/2 Gas into Dispute, and I don't as much anymore. So it's a little different, but I think if I made a Rakdos Alchemy, that would totally maybe I would do Anvil, maybe I would do something else. You could do like Forge, or Urabrask's Forge, and then with the Mirkwood Bats, that would be kind of cool. So like maybe that's something I toy around. But I think like Efilly said, like you'd want to do Rakdos with the Mirkwood, and another issue is that. Because I'm somewhat of a control deck, I really have to rely on hitting that City Stalker or the Sheoldred as a 4-drop.
Okay.
And I don't want to get rid of either of those, any of the slots.
Oh yeah, forget the Bats is a 4-drop too.
Yeah, if the Bat was a 3-drop, I could probably squeeze it in.
Yeah,
it's expensive. Yeah, I mean, it is expensive. This is his biggest drawback, but it will cascade really badly if you get it.
Oh, absolutely.
If you line it up.
So I think it's good top end in Rakdos, which maybe I'll try a Rakdos next season. Who knows?
Oh, maybe you'll try another color one of these days. Speaking of which, Philly, what we want to know definitively, what is your favorite deck style? What is your favorite colors? What do you hone in on? What is your number one go-to build?
I'm also a mono black girly. Love to play mono black. I used to think I was a control player, like a mono black. When I first started playing, like mono black, Snow was in, Lolth was in, Blood on the Snow was in, and that was like kind of considered. I feel like I was kind of considered a control deck. I had the Meat Hook, I had Blood on the Snow, so I always kind of thought I was a control player until I'd like match up against or try to play blue-white control, and then I'm like, this is not me.
No,
I do not play this.
Control. Yeah.
I am not a control player. And then I try to play mono red aggro. I'm like, I don't think I'm an aggro player either. But then I'll play like mono white aggro, and I'm like, I love this. So it's like I really don't know. I think it just depends on the way the deck plays to see how I feel about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and the mono white aggros are a little more mid-rangey. And I think that you and myself included, even Jay, we appreciate the mid range for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm just a mid range girly.
So I think mid range is like good. Yeah,
but
the mono black mid range. Well, and mono black
though.
On what?
Like Grixis mid range, I have the worst time deciding.
Oh yeah.
There's so much going on.
I don't know if I need to hold up my counter spell or if I should play my Blood Tithe Harvester or back when there was Bank Buster. I'm like, on turn 2, I'm already like, I've got 3 2-drops.
Yeah.
Do I hold up my counter? Do I play my Bank Buster? Do I play my heart? Like what? Like some decks, I'm just like, I feel like if you splash blue into anything, I'm like, do I hold up the counter? Do I make myself on the board? Like I just can't.
So I think Grixis has like too many good options. I think that's the issue. And it's like sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. They can mess you up.
Yeah.
So in true Black Council fashion, would you say that your blue is your black is your favorite color and blue is your least favorite.
I think green is my least favorite.
Green is your least favorite. Okay.
I play so little green, and I don't know. I think because I play black, I'm just like, all these creatures die. Those are all gonna die. All these creatures are gonna die if I play them. But you can play mono black and lose to mono green because you don't have enough removal. Like you have cut down, but those creatures are big, and then you only have 4 go for the throats. If they have like Nissa making all those little tokens, like you're gonna die. Like green can be more like you can only remove so many things if they have so many things, you know.
If you don't hit at least one board wipe against green, it's kind of hard to win. Which means you also have to be playing board wipes.
Has to be like a solid board wipe too, not like
Green requires a lot of kind of a little bit slower playing and a little bit more defensive. Yeah. The only time green gets aggro is if you mix red in, but green on itself is never going to move fast. Like,
which makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I get nervous too.
Yeah.
But I think also because I've been playing for such like a year and a half, green has not been. I play standard a lot. Green has not been existent in standard, so I haven't even had the opportunity to see like powerful green. You know.
I mean, ever since we lost like snow lands, green hasn't been as powerful, basically. Yeah. So that's definitely true. Because like green was a tier 1 standard deck with snow lands and all that, and
it was.
But I still feel like black crushed it. Like
as long as you could hit blood on the snow, it didn't matter what they did. Maybe if you were on the play, you could hit a meat hook in time and kill their stuff. But if you could hit the blood on the snow, you were good. It didn't matter. You're totally right about that. Especially if you had a creature in the bin. You know what I mean? After that. So.
But people love green. Whenever I play green on stream, Chad's like, green!
Oh, yeah.
I love green.
I'll say, I don't know how you guys feel, but I think green and white are the easiest to learn how to play Magic.
Green and white. I don't think so. I kind of disagree because it's so many. I feel like it's a lot of counters. Putting +1/+1 counters on stuff. Like if I were playing in paper, green white, I think I would get overwhelmed and lost.
Well, I guess I'm sorry, not together, like green or white.
Oh, separate.
Oh yeah. I've always felt red is just the simplest, just because it's you can just make a turn card sideways deck.
I thought so too, but then like I try to play aggro and I'm like, you can mess up that math real quick. Like you could have a burn spell. And like you need to decide what you're going to use on the creature or the person.
That's where you're playing it wrong. You got to stop thinking if you're playing.
Just go. Space.
If you turn card sideways. That's it. The answer is turn card sideways. The computer will figure out whether I win or lose, and it'll tell me.
You don't have to know how to count to 5.
No.
Let alone 20.
Math is for blockers, as they say.
Yeah. True. But yeah, and maybe I'll say that because I learned on a mono white deck actually when I first played. Like almost 10 years ago, and then
life game.
Yeah, it was like a life game.
Like you're like a life game, I can't lose.
I was like, dude, I'm just gonna gain so much life. You're not gonna want to play anymore.
You can't kill me, yeah.
And there was crazy life gain stuff like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
there used to be a card that if you had 40 life, you won the game.
That guy. Yeah, all kinds of conditional. Conditional things. If you have X life, then this happens. You know, and we really don't have that. Like, life gain is not as big of a thing anymore. People are really using their life total as a resource more now than previously. But yeah, life gain is definitely that's what I kind of learned on. It was like a humans and angel deck kind of thing, and I learned off of that. And then I think I had a green deck, so I kind of tried to learn that way too. And then eventually I discovered Orzhov, and that's what really kind of led me to Extort, and then Sanguine Bond. That was really where it was at for me. And Exquisite Blood.
Extort. That's Extort, a classic.
I just dated myself right there. Extort, and now Extort is like. Think about how if you would, do you know what Extort is, Efilly?
Nope.
Extort is when something happens, you may extort, and then extorting is pay 1 mana and you gain a life. And Jay, is it each opponent or target opponent? I forget.
I think it may be target opponent.
Target. So you gain 1 life, and target opponent loses 1 life.
Oh, I love that.
It's cool, but doesn't it feel like now, like that's not that good?
Yeah, like 1 life.
No, I mean
like just enough. 1.
Yeah,
mana. I'm not spending a mana on that. A whole mana. Like, but back
to ping you for 1.
Like, yeah. Extort was like, oh fuck yeah, I'll ping you, dude. Like, you know what I mean? It was like this. That's how I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
It was so different, even like just 10 years ago. And granted, it was a lot more casual. I always say like that was me freaking smoking weed with my friends and playing Magic and like not being competitive, not being serious.
Yeah.
Not knowing like what priority was and not knowing
the stack.
Not knowing about the stack and how things resolve and like like assigning damage properly. Like we didn't like we knew some general rules, but we didn't fully know.
Yeah, like, that was me with Yu-Gi-Oh. That's the same. Exactly. Like we were probably not judge.
Well, that is one thing I always say that I loved about Magic is that, and what I tell people, because like people, I don't want to say they get like intimidated by how seriously I take it, but like coming to be like, man, I could never do that. I could never be that good. And like, obviously, first of all, I don't think I'm that good to begin with, but like the beautiful thing about Magic is that it allows everybody to get exactly what they want out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it. You can take it as seriously as you want or not seriously as you want. And you can be at whatever level, and there will be somebody who will be there with you. That's what's cool.
Yeah, and I think that one of the best things about Magic, just in the design, the reason it's been so enduring, is that the rules of the game are written on the game pieces. Nice. each card that comes out changes a rule. You know, because normally when you attack someone, damage is stopped. If it says trample, the rest of the damage goes through. So that modifies the base rule. So the base rules are really easy to understand, but each of the cards you play is going to change. All right, well, you're allowed to do this now. Oh, well, when your creatures hit, they give you that much life. When you sacrifice a creature, this happened. So, and it's just written down as they say, it's just read the card. What does it say it does? It does that thing. You don't need to really know beyond that other than just the base rules. So it's a lot more, I think, user friendly, and lets you pull off insane combos.
It just allows for something unique to happen every time too. You know what I mean? Like if you're just playing like Monopoly with your family, it's kind of the same shit over and over. You know what I mean? Whereas like
so long too.
Yeah, and it's like a long game, but it's like Magic. It could go long, it could go short. It's different every time. A shitty deck could beat the best deck ever, vice versa. You know what I mean? Based on like the crazy variants and the crazy things that could happen. And that's what I explain to people. Like, it's a game that has rules, but then you get cards that say that you can change the rules.
Yeah.
And then you change the rules in a way that you think is fun, and that's your deck. And then you try to change the rules in a way that kills the other person, and you use creatures and other spells to do it. And it's really fun because you get to change the rules as you go, as long as you have a card that says you can. Which, because I am, a defiant person to begin with. I hate like
stick it to the man, anarchy.
Yeah, rebellious numbskull. So I don't like authority. You know what I mean? So like. Me being able to say like I get to just like make up the rules as I go and like use my freaking brain to do it. I'm like, let's
that's cool. Yep.
That's what's kept me in the game, and you know what I mean. Probably will keep me in the game for X amount of time, however long it is.
Yeah, I agree with the power level thing too, because honestly, I'm glad I've been diving more into paper because playing standard all the time, I'm just like, damn, is this all there is? It's just ramp. It's just ramp all the time, and then I don't know. It's like not like so much burnout because I still enjoy it, but like, it's just nice to have other. Like if I'm just gonna buy a couple packs with the homies and open up and build a deck and play, like it refreshes why you like playing in the first place.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and I think that helps the variety that you have. Just the availability of so much variety of building and trying different formats and trying different styles. you know, that's also just one of the amazing things. If you ever just get tired, you can just be like, oh well, I'm going to try
I'll
this.
Do this. I'll try it. I'll try a draft, or I'll try an event, or I like that.
And there's, I don't know, it's always been, especially since I when I got back into Magic, it was on Arena, kind of like you feel like you said you started on Arena, like that was what got me back into Magic after I didn't play for like 8 years or whatever, 7 or 8 years, and it just always feels different and refreshing in its own way, and it's never to say that you don't like doing it digitally, but it's always refreshing in its own way when you do play some paper Magic.
I'm fiending for my next time to play some paper Magic.
Oh yeah, me too.
I can't wait. I want to play so bad.
I hit up my homies and I was like, yo, I got a 3-day weekend. Are we playing paper Magic or what?
My friends hate me. I'm messaging them all the time. They're like, I have kids. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, my homie's like, dude, I'm in a band and we're on tour. And I'm like, okay, but when are we playing Magic?
But I bought packs. I bought some packs.
I was like, bro,
I got a new combo I've got to try out. I want to see if it works.
Yeah, man. So just things like that. And I know a lot of people around me are like in my area in PA are really into Commander. So a lot of people, when I do ask about playing paper, like, oh, well, do you have a Commander deck yet? And I'm like, no. So I do need to get it. I need to get on that.
Do they do pre-cons? Do they ever do pre-con leagues, or they really like their deck?
I think they've my friends have made their own, but like they would still play with me if I just like bought a pre-con. I was thinking about buying that Necron.
I have that one.
I have it
yet, though. I have that too.
Do you?
I have the Necron.
I don't think, as a mono black enjoyer like yourself, I don't think it's our style. It's very. They're what? They're artifacts. They're artifacts.
It's black artifacts, but there is a lot of resurrection. It's a reanimator.
But I still
a lot of heavy graveyard interaction.
Yeah, I don't know that it's. I don't know that it's like, for being mono black. It's not. It doesn't feel.
I was looking at the list and I was like, but it would be so much more fun if I just made a veto list.
Yeah, you know? Which you can do. Like, you can go on Moxfield and look it up. It's going to cost you like $400 or $500, but you can probably do.
Yeah, I was looking the other day. I was looking for like budget veto decks. I think 300 was like something would get me somewhere decent. And I have some. I could do
some
cards I own.
Yeah,
I could do cards. And maybe that's something, since I do, like I said, I have a 3-day weekend. Maybe I'll get some time tomorrow and I can just like sit around and go through everything. Especially now that Invoke's banned, I can take out the Invokes out of my regular mono black deck that I use for standard stuff, and I can put an Invoke in my.
Which I've heard is bad in Commander, but sometimes you play Commander with like 3 people, or I've even played one-on-one.
Because it's one opponent. That's true. Yeah. That is true.
But I still have it in mind. But mine's kind of
mine's
kind of cards I own too.
Maybe I draw 3 cards off it. You know?
Is it one of those Commander cards that everyone is just not supposed to play because it's like bad form or whatever?
No, it's just not as, like, with 4 opponents, you really need each opponent to
You need to
hit.
say each, yeah. And also, then it's like you have to single somebody out. Maybe you put a target on your back, and they're going to remember that later, or they'll try to kill you first.
Yeah. You really need something that targets, like, those cards that are in Standard that say this many opponents gets it that are pretty irrelevant. They're probably relevant.
Yeah. Because, you know, Commander is all about, you know, we don't take anything to heart, but we're gonna take everything to heart.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of that. No, and I'm kind of mad that I sold it. I got that Torment of Hailfire card.
I heard that card's nasty. I have that card too.
It is nasty.
And I had my friend who plays who has like a Commander deck. They're like, I would take this out. It's kind of a mean card.
When I got it at the table at MagicCon, people were like, dude, that's a good fucking card. But people will not be happy if you resolve it. And I was like, but it's like a Commander only card, and it sells for like $15-$20. So somebody's playing it. I think it's like a CEDH. You know what I mean? Like it's for the really sweaty ones. So maybe not really a casual play, but it is mean. Anybody who wants to look it up. It is a mean fucking card. And it's similar to that Invoke style. You know what I mean? So it is. Yeah. But that's each. I think that one is each opponent. So that one goes crazy.
I played some Commander the other day. Like, I don't really play, but like anything anyone will play with me, I'm like, I'm down. I've got a deck. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
We really like we're yelling at each other. I'm like, but he just attacked you with this, and now you're gonna cover me. I'm like, but we should be going after him. How dare you touch my thing? Don't you see this threat? We're like screaming and yelling.
Oh, dude,
I'm screaming and yelling.
I have my two homies. They know that how seriously I take Magic, and even when we're just playing, like I'll let them use decks that have banned cards that they just like put dope cards in against my regular standard deck, and they'll still like gang up on me and try to kill me first. And I'm like, dude, you need to understand that you guys ganging up on me, like the one, like I'll be like, dude, if you guys gang up on me, you're neglecting him over here.
The thing over here.
And yeah, you might get me out first, but you're not going to beat him without me. So don't gang up on me. You know what I mean? You need to like at least keep me alive a little longer so I can deal with the shit he's got going on over there. Otherwise, you're gonna die right after you team up on me. So like, I have to like try to influence it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, well, are you sure you want to do that, man? When he's got all that going on,
I think that's like
gotta like gently. You know what I mean?
That's such a big part of Commander, and part of the reason people like it is all that like politicking, like like you're playing Monopoly, you know, telling people, no man, don't land on my space, just sell me, mortgage your hotels to me. I swear I'll get it you back. There's that social aspect to it that is just not purely.
You're not doing that in an RCQ at the Pro Tour one-on-one versus the pros.
Another thing, I don't know if you guys ever got a chance to play it in person, is Two-Headed Giant.
No, but I
love it. Oh my god,
oh, it's so fun, dude.
Oh, Two-Headed Giant is the best.
I played it one time, and I still remember like most of what happened, and it was like almost 10 years ago. Because it was so fun.
Wish if there's one wish I had for Arena is Two-Headed Giant. Oh my god, it's so fun.
And we didn't do it with draft. We did it with our constructed decks, and it was just ridiculous.
That sounds. I want to do that.
Yeah, and who was it? Tater Chuck was telling me. One of my, I think he's in both Jay and I's channels. He was telling me that his LGS has Two-Headed Giant Commander.
Oh yeah, I've seen it on my LGS as a calendar too.
That's crazy. Yeah. So if you ever get a chance to play that, I think he said it was like a $50. Was it a $50 buy-in? Maybe it was only $30.
Damn.
But you will have a little bit of a buy-in, but you'll have some decent rewards if you win.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, if you can play some Two-Headed Giant, this goes for you guys. Anybody listening, do it. Just any format, be it draft, be it commander, be it a constructed deck, be it whatever. It is so fun.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
Being on a team playing Magic together, trying to accomplish it. It's just so like there's so much
conspiracy.
It gets so crazy. and you can fully trust the person that you're teaming up with because they have no reason to try to
they're on your side. It's a shared life pool.
Yeah, you have a shared life total. So like, and they might, if you know more, they might just like defer to you to like what you should do.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Or like if you miss a trigger, they might remind you of the trigger too. So
in my local pod, me and my buddy Gavin, we were absolutely banned from two-heading. They would not let us play. Oh no, they would not let us play together. We were beating the hell out of everybody. Our decks were very complementary. No, we just played. We played like
constructed EDH or constructed
constructed two-headed.
Okay, hell yeah.
Which was pretty good. And it just we got totally. They're like, no man, you guys can't team up anymore. That's just not working for us.
Switch partners.
Not working for anybody. Yeah, you guys got to stop. Yeah. Even crazier than that, back in long time ago. Oh, this is a long time ago. There used to be an old ancient format called Emperor, where it was basically two-headed giant, but it was 3 people, and if one person died on that team, the game was over. They were the Emperor. So the other 2 people's whole goal was to protect the other person.
So
and that was a crazy format too.
Pool.
No,
you didn't have a shared pool.
Each person had their own life. Yeah.
Okay, that's lit. I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, obscure. There's a lot of weird, obscure formats and
That's cool. There's so many different ways. Yeah.
And speaking of possible formats that could eventually be on Arena, I do love my favorite that Arena kind of like teases us with is Gladiator.
Have they been teasing us with that?
Didn't they do a thing? They do events sometimes, right?
Yeah, they do. Sometimes the midweek Magic is Gladiator.
What is
and it is so basically it's like
60 one-ofs?
I think it's you can still do a 100 card deck. But all the cards that are banned are not banned.
Oh.
So like Demonic Tutor.
Oh, it's old cards too.
Dark Ritual is fair game. So you can have like a fucking turn 2 5-drop whatever kind of thing going on.
There's no commander, right? No commander.
I think you're right. I think Gladiator doesn't have a commander. Yeah.
I could think about Oathbreaker too, which I don't really know what that is. Oathbreaker? Isn't it commander?
I remember them talking about. Oh, that's like
It's a planeswalker.
Yeah, it's like it's like I don't know. I don't want to say like Commander Light, but it's like a similar version of all that.
It is a crazy version of Commander. Essentially, you have a commander and a signature spell, but it has to be a planeswalker.
Yeah,
it can't be.
It has to be a planeswalker, and then you also have like you said a signature spell, like a second commander kind of type thing.
Yeah, it has to be like Chandra's Helix or something like that.
Oh.
Which it's.
It always goes back to a zone.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
And that one's a 60 card.
Gladiator, right? Or Oathbreaker. Both.
Oathbreaker, I'm sorry. Oathbreaker, you get a planeswalker and a signature spell. It has to be an instant or sorcery. And the Oathbreaker has to be a planeswalker. Then you get 58 other cards minimum.
Oh, it's 60. That's cool.
Yeah, minimum 60.
One-ofs?
I think it is one-ofs. And then the color symbols in the mana cost of your Oathbreaker, plus any mana symbols in its rule text, define your deck's color identity. Wow. So it's like that commander. Kind of acts. Yeah, that acts as the commander. So like, you could play like a Rakdos guy and then have Invoke be your spell. Your Oathbreaker and the signature spell are in the command zone. You cast it for the normal cost, additional 2 each time. And then you can only cast a signature spell when your Oathbreaker, or outside of regular time when your Oathbreaker is in the board.
Oh.
See what I mean? Yeah. So that's fun. I would probably do that. I wouldn't have a problem with that. It doesn't. Does it say one-ofs though?
I keep thinking of it like Commander, which makes me feel like it would be one-ofs, but I don't know.
It doesn't.
Are those the earbuds you got stuck in your ear, Numbskull?
Oh, it is one-off. No, these are new ones. I got new ones tonight. And today, another.
I'll tell you what. Every episode, let me tell you something. Every episode of the podcast, Numbskull's like, I'm gonna be 5 minutes. I gotta hook up this new PC.
He's got a new.
He is a gear addict. He's like, hold on, I'm putting in these new speakers. I got this new monitor. I'm gonna be 5 minutes.
New keyboard, new headphones.
New keyboard, new headphones, and the new monitor mount. Well, I'm just trying to have like the perfect setup, Well, now I have 2, but
you see my laptop.
Speaking of that, did you put your computer together yet?
No, I need to.
Oh my god! Hey, Erin got this computer for Christmas. She's still streaming off of her laptop, and it's holding it down. It's holding.
I did it for a year and a half. I made my videos and streamed off of an HP laptop, sitting on a cooling pad, running at full speed, trying to keep up with.
I need a cooling pad. I know when I lift up my laptop, which I have, and there's going to be like brown lines on the desk. I know it gets so hot.
You burned the desk.
Probably.
Yeah, I actually
$20 for a cooling pad to raise it off.
I need one.
My laptop that I just started streaming off of like randomly sometimes, it only has like a 3060 in it and like 16 gigs of RAM and like a Ryzen 5, and that thing gets to like 90 Celsius. Like I know the internal temp.
Oh.
Which is like basically too high. It's basically so hot that it requires a cooling pad to not fuck up. So like I had to get one too. So I know yours is getting hot.
So speaking of equipment and streaming, another question I want to ask Efilly: what made you decide to start streaming? What got you into Twitch? You just got a wild idea to do it, or like what was?
I got my Nintendo Switch, I think for like my birthday or Christmas like few years ago. I want to say it was before the pandemic, like maybe a year, maybe 2018, 2019, whenever it came out. And I got addicted to playing Fortnite on it, handheld. Like, I would play, like, I used to, like, work and get off work at midnight, and all of my friends would get on Fortnite. Like, I just played Fortnite like crazy on my Switch. And then I got obsessed with watching streamers stream Fortnite. Like, I'd be at work watching streamers stream Fortnite. I'd be at home, like, I'd be playing Fortnite, watching. I really want to say it was Fortnite that got me addicted to Twitch to begin with. And then I was like, I'm going to stream some Fortnite. So for my birthday in 2019, I got a laptop. I was like, I'm going to start streaming. I got a capture card for my Switch. I was like, I'm going to be a Switch Fortnite streamer. It's going to be my thing. And it was fun. And I still want to do it. And I still will. I always say I'm going to do more Fortnite streams. But then there's always some milestone in Magic that I want to achieve. I'm like, oh, I want to hit Mythic before the end of the month. Or I want to get to numbers, or there's this or that. There's always like some excuse for me to not get on Fortnite.
Have you had more success as a streamer in Magic than you did in Fortnite, or was it?
Yeah, I definitely had more of an audience and people in Magic. But it's weird though, when you're when I was a smaller streamer with like 5 viewers, I feel like there are people who like that. Like I would have, I would get really big tips and lots of cheers and lots of bits and subs and stuff, just because like I think there are people out there that really like to feel like they're more one-on-one with you when you're like a smaller streamer. They like people that more than competing for attention and stuff.
I prefer that. I always like to, if I'm watching somebody that's like, there's 500 people there, no, they're never going to see your message. You're just spamming. Everyone's just spamming emotes and just yelling stuff. It's
XQC's kick chat. That's like,
exactly. It's like you can't even tell what's. I'm not a Zoomer. Listen, I'm 1,000 years old. I can't be doing that stuff.
Yeah,
you guys. He has slow mode on his He's like, no, you guys. He's like, I'm
lowering my bifocals down my nose, going, what are these computer messages saying? Why is he yelling so much?
The font's like this big.
I can't be doing that. So
he's like, hey, man, I have to convert to PDF.
That's why I keep like, I never wanted to be one of those streamers or YouTubers that was like, what's up guys, we're here, we're gonna smash it tonight and blah 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 blah. Like,
and then you're like talking to yourself. You're almost talking to yourself at that point, because you're not interacting with chat at all when it's just going. Like
I can't stand those like hyper high energy YouTuber. Like I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm far from it. So, and that's why I always go tenderly press that like button, because I'm so tired of watching YouTube videos saying, smash that like button, destroy that bell, blow up that like. And that's why I was just like, don't, just be easy on it. Don't,
if you like
the subscribe button is just, so I always wanted to make like, and that was my idea, just go in and make a chill stream, just more relaxed and not so extremely high energy. You get those peaks and valleys when you pull off. Obviously, you pull off a really good combo. You top deck a card that's amazing. You're like, whoa, okay, we got him. But I never wanted to be one of those just like electric, insane, just smashing your desk and throwing your keyboard. That was just not appealing.
And I've noticed with like, I guess I still consider myself a small streamer. Like
me too.
I guess in a way weird. Like unless you have. A lot of people say like unless you have like 400 or 500 watching, you just are a small streamer. So like whatever. But
the opposite is if you have like at least, what do they say? If you have at least 15 people watching you, you're like in the top 1% of Twitch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how many like of all the people that have
nice
Twitch accounts.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of people who stream to like I don't want to say it, but like to nothing basically.
Yeah, and when you look at the total amount of accounts on Twitch versus how many people get average, like if you're hitting that, you're one of the best. You're one of the top 1%, which sounds really good, but also it's a lot of people because there's probably 10 million people or 20 million people on Twitch, and 1% of that
thousands
is still
in that 1%.
A lot.
But yeah, I felt like. For me, I have people who expect me to read every message, personally. There are people who expect that I
and I scroll up.
My best.
I scroll up.
I know you scroll up.
There's so many streamers that just I'm wondering when I'm gonna get to the point where I don't scroll up Like there's streamers that don't scroll up. There's people that average like 6, 7. They don't scroll up. If the chat's gone, it's gone. But I always feel like I have to scroll up. Like
I always try to.
Yeah.
I always try to respond. I feel bad.
I just had someone.
I want to be a part of the conversation.
They did. What did they do? They did exclamation missed. Oh. As in like you missed my message.
That's easy too because you can just click their name and see the next message.
Yeah, so I guess that's like a thing that people do, but like someone did it to me and I was like, oh, people are expecting me to like
go find it.
I need to be like make sure that I'm on it because there are people in here who expect me to look at every message. So like I make the best effort I can. It is tough though, like
well, I'm a big Twitch chatter. So I know that if I chat and they miss my message, like I don't get butthurt about it, but I'm like, is it like I feel weird to chat again now? Like now I don't even know. My conversation that I already kind of started doesn't exist because they didn't see it. So do I keep going?
You know, like, and I do that too. And I also do something that I later, like after a year of streaming or maybe even a year and a half, that apparently is bad etiquette is when I see somebody enter the chat or if I see them on my, who's here, I'll say, hey, hello, whoever. Hello, Fox85. How you doing tonight? And like people were saying it's Twitter, so there's always full of bad opinions. Like if someone is in your chat and they're not talking, it means they don't want to interact with you. And I'm like, yeah, but they're here. I feel bad if somebody comes in and I see them sitting in chat all night and they're not saying anything. I always encourage people, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on tonight?
And see them in your chat?
You
just look at your see who's there.
You just see who's there.
Like the lurking list.
Yeah.
I've been into a stream before too, where the second you enter the stream, it'll be like there was like a sound alert that said, "This person just entered the stream," and I was like,
"You can set that up for certain people, yeah."
To have like if they just click to your stream to watch it, it'll announce
as soon as you're in chat.
I was like, "This is the worst ever." I hated that.
But going along with that, Jay, it's like you can acknowledge them, but they don't have to say anything.
Yeah. Of course. I just always wanted to.
So if you don't want to talk, then don't, and then that's it. But I'm gonna say hi to you because that's me.
I just acknowledge people. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, like you said, Twitter just has to.
Oh yeah, you hit the worst takes on Twitter ever. I hate that website.
How do you guys feel about that? Like the fact that like the MTG space is almost exclusively choosing Twitter as its platform, social media. Because I didn't really use Twitter before I played Magic or streamed.
It's interesting to me that people feel that their opinions are the law. Like I know it's weird. It's weird that people
phrase that.
Well, even in my chat, people will say things definitively.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good way of putting it.
But you don't realize like that there's someone having a different opinion than you. Like it's not definitive. Like you guys don't agree on that. It's not a rule. It's not a law. Like it's just how you feel about something. Who cares about your feelings?
I don't know how to act when someone does that to me. I'm like, well. There's been situations where what you're saying doesn't make any sense. So it's like, how do
I've seen that. I did not. I stayed off. I had left Twitter a long time ago, and I was so happy being gone. I came back because I finally said, my channel's growing big enough. I got to start interacting with some people.
Twitter is really good networking. I think Twitter is really good networking.
It is good. I feel like it's okay if you use it the right way, but you're still going to see. I mean, I guess you're going to see that on all social media. You're just going to see shit that you don't want to see, and like. Negative energy is going to be on any social media, regardless of, the level. But
I've been
and all that shit.
So much happier in my life since I left Facebook, Instagram, every type of social media. I've been it's been such a blessing for me.
I need to delete Facebook again. I had to delete it for like over a year, and it was
Facebook is really political. It's like your family. Yeah. You really lose touch with how your family. You see how your family feels about things, and you're like, damn.
Oh God, yeah.
But the Twitter space is so weird. Maybe you guys have run into this. You'll see like an MTG Twitter account, and I'm like, and they have like 25,000 people following them. They put up a tweet, they get like 1,000 likes, 2,000 likes, they say something, and they're like, what about we do this? Or they'll have some sort of opinion about Magic. They'll say something, there should be more secret. Like they'll just say something random. I'm like, wow, must be a big guy I never heard of. You click their links, and it's like, go check out my Twitch, and they have like 150 followers on Twitch.
I call them Twitter personalities.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they have like Mox Field links.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they
like
are
big
Magic
Commander
personalities.
gamers.
Yeah. So, but I personally have only ever seen them on Twitter. So in my head, you're a Twitter personality.
I don't, and I'm like, and when I first got, I'm like, oh wow, I must be missing a big section of the Magic community because I know pretty much all the players in YouTube. I know a lot of the people on Twitch, but then I look at the links and I was like, oh, they have a YouTube channel, they got 200 subs. They have a Twitch, they have 300 followers.
I'm like, where can I learn what you're putting out?
Yeah. Where is this? What exactly is the content you're creating?
What exactly would you say it is that you
And I was shocked when I got back on. Yeah.
Hit him with the Office Space.
And like, listen, I'm not like hating on them. Like, hey, listen, man, if you're being successful just by tweeting hot takes, like, good for you, man. But it's just, it was weird. Like, it was like
people make
seeing
a living
a whole
off that
civilization shit, like in your basement. It was weird.
I don't know. I know. I think that too. I'm like, what is that? What am I doing?
And I think that sometimes it's hard, like, because on Twitch, like, when you do a paper Magic EDH stream, not that many people watch it. But if you did a podcast about it, more people will watch it, and people will communicate with you about it on Twitter. And that's where you can post that you're excited about a new card that you got. Oh, it's mail day, or just people all that Twitter, shit. Yeah. Like, that's like, I guess that's become the favorite space for that. And then, like you said, people have amassed 25,000 followers just for fucking playing EDH, but like not.
And people.
I don't want to say they aren't a content creator, but you know.
I mean, if they're tweeting daily about stuff, and the people every day are scrolling on Twitter looking at stuff, like they're probably thinking the same thing about like me or any other Twitch streamer. They're like, "Who are you?
This person
you stream on Twitch? I don't even have Twitch."
Or like, this person only has 400 followers or some followers on Twitter. What a loser.
But what I mean? But if they don't even have a Twitch account, like they don't consume any Twitch, to us, we're nothing. Did we lose Jay?
We lost Jay.
Did we lose Jay?
He has bad internet. He'll be back.
Oh no!
I'm gonna.
He can't hear us then.
He can't hear us now. Come on, Jay. What is this? There he is.
Back.
I disappeared. They got me.
We were just talking about your YouTube.
Oh, what about my YouTube?
We were just saying it's popping, and she was asking me.
They're talking about editing and stuff.
Yeah, she was asking me like how quickly you edit the videos, and I was like, I mean, Jay's really good because he does that shit daily. So.
Oh yeah, I try to do a very fast turnaround. As someone who both streams and YouTubes, YouTube is much harder. There's so much extra work that has to go into it. It is.
YouTube's tough.
Not only the editing, but then you have to make a thumbnail. You have to put in tags. You have to put in description to SEO. It's so
nice that it sits there. It's nice that it sits there, but you're still putting in all the hours of like this. It's always the like YouTube versus streaming. Yeah. You're streaming for 6 hours, but you're still gonna edit for 6 hours, and then throw it up there. You know, it still kind of evens out.
Yeah.
I feel like I never actually got the time to like properly edit. That was my issue. That's why I didn't want to do YouTube. Because I'm not good at editing.
I tried to find myself. I found myself the absolute most basic Fisher Price editor in the world, and that's where I took it from there. Because I was not jumping into DaVinci Resolve right away. I was or
what
Final Cut
do
Pro
you
or something like that. I use Open Shot.
Open Shot. Okay.
It's a free editing software that's like open source, and it's just click, drag. It's the most basic thing. I've learned a lot more editing tricks as I've went along. I've learned a lot more about how to speed things up, move things around, add things, and do stuff like that. But as far as like knowing, it's like that Dunning-Kruger effect. Once I learned about editing and the basics, I learned about how much I don't know. And it gave me so much more respect for these dudes that are doing these high caliber edits and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, YouTube is like 50% editing. Like it is most like almost half of almost more. The content creation part is the easy part. The editing and uploading is, And that's why you always wonder, like when I was watching YouTube a long time ago, you'll be like, why do all these big, YouTubers, they pay a lot of money for editors, or they're always talking, they have editors, they have a whole team of editors. It's impossible to do it by yourself.
I know.
You can't even, you just wouldn't.
And I don't have the like will to live as it is. I feel like I barely have the drive. I have like the littlest drive to do anything lately anymore. I'm like, the thought of trying to sit and edit, I don't know if I can do it.
Well, and I guess one of my problems was I tried to start. My homie was like, oh yeah, man, yeah, well, you can start doing your YouTube videos. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna send you a link for a cracked version of Adobe Premiere Pro, which is like $1,000 program, I guess. And like I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know how to use it.
Too much power.
I still actually have it on this hard drive, I tried to edit one thing on there, and I couldn't even like get it to the part where I exported it. It took so long. There's so many buttons. There's too much extra power stuff that I'll never use, because you're supposed. Like,
that's the thing.
You could make a movie on it. You could make a film on it. You know what I mean? So like, there's a lot.
Yeah, that's what they use to like make a feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like YouTube editing for dummies.
Yeah.
A couple buttons, a couple clips.
It kicked me out again. And twice. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I mean, trying to use that, like I said, that high level. It's like if someone's like, "Oh, you want to learn how to drive? Here, try this Lamborghini." It's like, no, bro, you can't.
Yeah.
There's way too much stuff going on. That's way too high power for, it's. I mean, it's a nice car and it does amazing things, but when you actually need to learn what, how to make it go forward, that's not the right thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I always think that I would be bad at so what? Stream for 6 hours, try to mark my points where I think would be clippable moments, because I don't want to go through and watching the 6 hours of footage and then trying to pick stuff out. That it would be the worst. So it's like when you're live, you kind of have to think about the timestamps and do it. I'm like, I'm already my brain is so stretched thin when I'm streaming, thinking about my Streamlabs stuff, the game, my music playing, settings. I'm always I cannot even stream without a Red Bull or a coffee or something. I cannot.
And that's why I consider myself more of a YouTuber than a streamer. I only stream about an hour and a half to 2 hours a night.
And you get your YouTube content out of it.
And I've made my video, and that way I don't have to sift through, like you said, I don't have to sift through 6 hours. I can cut off the first half hour and the back 15 minutes, and it's stuck together, and boom, there's your video. So, which is probably why my Twitch hasn't grown so much, because I'm not on there that much. I'm on there for, like I said, hour and a half to 2 hours a day max.
A lot of YouTubers do that too.
Yeah, and that's just. I mean, even CGB talked about at one time he wasn't going to stream anymore because it wasn't worth the effort.
It kind of really does that.
Focusing, on just making videos. So,
and he's always "Don't sub to me" when he streams. He's like, "Don't sub to me. I make plenty off YouTube."
Yeah, exactly. And I do make more off YouTube than I do off Twitch, but it is more work though. That is the trade-off. It's really hard. And I don't know why I started making videos first, but that's what I decided would be a good idea. COVID was happening. No one was thinking correctly.
Yeah. I think it's great, though. I think YouTube is very good for... I don't know. Sometimes I think streaming is just... They're so situational on other people's time. Mm-hmm. If they're not available to watch your stream while you're there, they can always watch your YouTube whenever they want.
Exactly.
Whenever they have the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing I did do that I will say I kind of had decent luck on in terms of getting people to recognize my YouTube was I would just straight up upload the VOD itself.
Yeah, that's what my whole YouTube is now, yeah.
You just have VODs on it? Okay, yeah, I did that, and people were like, "Oh, I saw you uploaded a VOD to YouTube. I watched it." And I was like, "Oh." And usually they aren't even in my stream. And they
I get mine have all like 0. Like if you ever fall asleep watching YouTube and other YouTubes just play, I would think like maybe mine will come up.
It'll come up that
Yeah, like maybe someone's gonna wake up from half of my 6-hour VOD that I uploaded it's gonna be on from someone sleeping. We're like, what the hell is this?
Well, we are more than happy to. And speaking of which, we are more than happy to plug your YouTube. You are at twitch.tv/Efilly.
Yes.
Which of course is, I think you told me that means you're an electronic horse.
Yep.
That's
I actually didn't know Efilly was a horse until my streaming career. You know how like you make a name and then you like it now. When I first made Twitch, I was like, all right, I'm creating this account. This is going to be my Twitch name. I didn't really think anything of it, and then now it's like that's who I am.
How did you come up with it?
It's just based off my name. Oh. Like my last name has the word Fill in it, and my first name is Aaron, so I just did Efilly, and that was my name on like a lot of things. Like that was just my on my Pokemon Go account. I'm just Efilly because I never had like a creative username or anything. And
it is funny how it becomes part of your identity and like
that's who I am now. I couldn't change it.
Luckily, I naturally had a cool name, so this is
cool.
My actual name, which nobody believes.
Oh, really? Wait, that's super cool.
Yeah, it doesn't have the I in it. It's just Villan.
But it's still pronounced the same.
It's just to pronounce villain.
Cool. That's super cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Everyone thinks it's like a persona. He's Jay Villain. Oh no, it's like my
actual name.
That's my actual name.
That's cool.
So it's a bit more normal when people say, "Oh, hey, Jay Villain." It's just like that's what I hear at work. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Mine came from a song that I like by a band at the time. Well, it was also my Instagram name for the longest, but I got it from that. The song was just called Numbskull. And and then I was like, when I started like actually making content, I was like, I'm just gonna make it the same as what I have on Instagram because that has the most followers. So that's what I chose, and I was like, fuck it. It kind of relates to MTG. Let's just do Numbskull, and then now actually, oddly enough, my buddy is the vocalist of that band.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it just kind of all came full circle.
My Instagram username when I first started streaming was Blue Eyes White Aaron. I remember that. Yeah, when that was my name, because I was like diving deep into Yu-Gi-Oh at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's kind of cute. And then even as a Magic personality, like that would still be kind of like a cute name, but it's just like long. And on Instagram, it like cuts off if you post anything. So I was just like, eh.
Oh, it is like it does get too long. Yeah, that is true.
So I was like, I'll just change it. Make it more uniform. And then I got like starting screen stuff commissioned, and I was like, all right, I kind of want all my stuff to be like uniform. So I just kind of changed all my stuff to be like TTV at the end or something.
Once you really go into it, you do want it to be as uniform as possible.
Yeah.
For sure. It was kind of tough for me because I have to do like a different version of Numbskull. I feel like on every.
Because other people have it, yeah.
Yeah, there's like the Numbskull on Twitch. I tried to do the same Numbskull that I had on Instagram to start, but that one was taken. And the only one that was available was the underscore after each word.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then on Twitch you can't do the underscore after each, or on Instagram I can't do the underscore after each word. So
really? Like someone has it already?
Yeah. So it's kind of tough. So I can't make it as uniform. Like, I'm recognized as Numbskull like everywhere. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I can't just straight up. There's already a huge streamer who just has the actual Numbskull, like no extra stuff.
Anything.
Yeah, they have like 80,000 followers on Twitch.
Damn.
So I definitely can't. And I didn't know that when I made my account. And I'm not gonna lie, when I made my Twitch account, it was actually the reason I made my Twitch account was to watch the World Championships in like 2021, I think. The Arena World Championships. And then I started streaming like less than a month later.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was watching. The Arena World Championship. I was watching it at work, and then and then at night I would watch Jay's streams, and then I asked Jay questions about streaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he
I was there from the beginning.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And then I started raiding him every night.
Yeah. I would raid Jay at first, and then I started streaming later, and then he started raiding me, and then we kind of just and then people were like, "Hey, you guys should make a podcast," and then here we are.
You're kind of one of the first Magic people I think I met. Through Twitch, I think. Yeah,
and I found you through. I think I just saw people who were streaming. I know I saw you on Strider's channel, a few other people. So I remember I had seen you before.
Yeah, Strider too, I think.
Mm-hmm. So I saw you through there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Aaron's cool." So
I love that about the Twitch Magic community, that we're friends and homies. I really, really like that.
There's a lot of.
I feel like there's
a lot of people's.
I feel like there's hardly ever beef between Magic creators.
No,
yeah,
really not.
Yeah, I love being homies with the fellow streamers. I think it's fun messaging about stuff.
I was remarking the other night. I had what was it? It was about last week. I had 6 or 7 other streamers just in my chat.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I was like, Numbskull's here, Lunanix is here, Seafrevretto was there, I think Striderstone was there. There was so many other streamers just hanging out in the chat, and I was like, that's great, man. That's
I love
just
that.
Great to see.
The homies.
Yeah. But one last question as we wrap up here, Miss Efilly. Where do you see yourself going? What's next for the Philly?
I don't.
Are you gonna?
I think that all the time. I'm gonna keep streaming. I don't think I'm done streaming. I don't know. I always had.
You're gonna try to move on to TikTok. I mean, what's your next move? Are you just gonna take and see what happens?
I think about TikToks all the time, but I don't know. The thought of actually setting up my phone on the tripod and trying to make them probably isn't gonna happen. So I don't know. And then I don't even know. I know there is MTG TikTok. I see them occasionally.
Yeah, that's true.
But I really don't know. I always just wanted to stream. I still don't even know if I consider myself. I mean, I guess I am a Magic streamer. But I do think streaming, Twitch is my main priority, I think, versus being a Magic personality, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes sense, yeah.
But then I compare myself to bigger Magic personalities. I'm like, damn, how do I get to grow my channel like they do? And then I'm always having that inner conflict of what am I doing?
Right, yeah.
Into a wider content creation and now your cosplay or anything like that. You think focus on just doing the Efilly stream?
Yeah, I kind of just like to do I don't really want to have a route I have to go. I kind of just like to do stuff. I think if I'm gonna dress up for a stream one day, I kind of just think I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna I don't know, or play a different game. I wanted to play this spooky game on Father's Day called Father's Day. It's a scary game, but I ended up being busy all day for Father's Day with my father, so we didn't do it. So I still think I'm gonna stream variety stuff. It is fun, but I don't know.
That's awesome. Well, we are so happy we're getting to the end of our time here. We could probably keep going for another hour because this was really great. I think we had a great conversation. Always, we always have a great time whenever we have a third person on. Yeah, it's really dynamic. I'm tired of talking to Numbskull anyways, so
we get boring after 34 episodes.
Yeah.
What's new today?
Yeah. So yeah, it was great. It was great having you here, and we know we can find Efilly at twitch.tv/Efilly, and formerly Blue Eyes White Aaron on Instagram.
Yeah, I think
it's Efilly TTV on Instagram
now. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it on YouTube too. TTV,
and also on Twitter.
On Twitter, it's Efilly Sucks. SUX.
Oh, yes. By the way, that's such a good handle. I love your sing Twitter handle. That's so funny.
There's a Fortnite streamer that her name's Demi on all her things, but on her Twitter's Demi Sucks. So I'm I took that from her. I love that. I love that. And Twitter's so good for shit posting and stuff. So it's kind of
that's true.
The alter ego.
I don't know, Numbskull. I don't know if you saw, but I just retweeted you.
That was hilarious.
it was the picture of me and your favorite card, and I just retweeted. I said, "This is also me and my favorite card." So yeah, Vito for life. So we'll put all of those links in the description. We'll put them in the comments. We'll put them everywhere. Thank you so much for having you. We'll have to have you back.
Thank you for asking.
We're going to invite you to our Discord, and when we do our Black Council tournament, you will have a invitation to that. Cool. We're probably going to do a Grand Prix tournament, so if you'd like to join in that, you're more than welcome to join that too. But thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you. This is fun.
And don't forget that all patrons of the Patreon are in that tournament as well, and then other members of the council that have been
other members. So. We're gonna invite previous guests on the show.
As little as $1 a month, you can join the Patreon. And
as little as $1 a month, that's all. Yeah,
and you can be in the tournament too. You just have to be an active council member in some way.
Yeah,
be it as a patron or a guest when we schedule the tournament, and you will be in there.
You'll be there.
That's all you got to do. So you might as well join the Patreon, $1 a month.
And also the patrons get to see this video early, so that's good too.
Yeah, a ton of other perks. We're not just going to give you a tournament. We're going to let you see the episode at least 24 hours early every time. You're going to be in that Discord that Efilly will now be in as well. So we have an exclusive Discord for you guys.
Nice.
And we have it's trust me, it's worth much more than $1 a month. So might as well do it.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for coming. We'll have to try to send you a Black Council hat.
Do you guys have hats?
Yeah, we have hats.
We have merch.
We have snapbacks. We have beanies that have the Black Council seal on them.
Cute.
So
I didn't know that.
We'll have to do that. Thank you so much for coming.
Jay and I will split costs on that. We'll get you a hat.
We'll get you the official hat to wear. So until next time, guys, I've been Jay Villain. You've been great. Numbskull. There he is. Efilly, thank you once again for coming by.
Thank you.
I'm calling this session of the Black Council to a close. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys. Take care.